Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to round 10 of Lads Motorsport here. And we have Tier 1 and 2 kicking it here tonight around Bahrain International Circuit. Of course, we had the Tier 3-4 race earlier today with the winner of Deadly Fuller, but tonight we have the sprint race format. Obviously, Deadly Fuller took the Grand Slam of equivalence with the pole in both the sprint and regular quali, and then won both races. Now, one-stop strategies will be very hard because here in Bahrain, the track is 5.4 k's long, and it will be very good a testament of the driver's skills. Here tonight, to of course have the sprint format. So this event will go for about 2 hours for those watching at home and those watching in their cars before they head out on their flying laps. Still waiting on a few drivers to come back, so while we wait for the drivers to come out, let's get some facts from last time we raced here at Lads Motorsport. Last time we won here, the battle Jacko took the win, followed by the Manmac and the Battle Cat. This was obviously before Apollo Pepsi and others alike took to the track. If I look for the pole time, this was obviously in F1 24, but the pole time here was a 1:28 flat. In Tier 3 and 4, the boys got up to a 1:28.8, and I know from a few people were on for 28.5 there, so it was not out the run yet as we jump through. Some of the cars are heading out now. Believe you should be able to see the game soon. Apologize, let me just fix this. Oh no, here we are, it's finally loaded. So we get everything ready here for the sprint race. Here in not Abu Dhabi. Apologies to those watching at home, but this is the sprint race qualifying for Bahrain here. Here is our championship leader heading out on the intermediates. Very interesting. Well, it's not really. You really want to save your tyres. So if you can set a lap and get a decent quality lap down or bank a lap in on inters, you're on your way to winning to a good session, saving those tyre compounds. If your driver's already out on the intermediates here and the mediums, but you're in qualifying for the sprint, that's really all you expect from these drivers. Being out on the slower compound, setting their bankers, and then potentially, if their time's not, they only really have enough time for maybe 2 good laps, so it's all down to either their banker or their main quali lap. There'll be a snoop around on my telemetry here to see who's on a flying lap right now. On a good compound of tyres, I should say. No one's on a soft run, so next is quite cakey on the meds. He's running about him through these S's here. So we along the car on the edge there, not going too wide there, not going using too much of that curb, but you can use. Which is nice. So here through here. You know, this is a very tricky braking zone coming downhill, hairpin. It's done nicely there. It's not out of this race yet. Apollo Pepsi's bank is a 131 on inters, 131.9. And Shaq instantly takes it to a 129.3 on the meds. Takes to need a bit more than that. Challenge himself for provisional pole here. There's Shelby, 128.4. The Ferrari reserve takes it to the top of the timing sheets. They run ball through, we quite take through this final section. Let's run towards the line. Cake. Goes P4. Not a bad lap. Remember, Dad's still in the pits. He's obviously reserving up. Who else we look through the grid? We've got Toddy. Or should I say Tobby. Pits on Bender. It's gonna let German Dictator on a lap. See what he can do. Comes around the final corner. Towards the line he comes. Tier 4, Tier 3 driver. Gets up to P6. Pilot Pepsi there. Who's the other RB there? Coming across the line there. Gets a banker down. It might be time soon to start thinking of heading back now. If you haven't set your banker now, Mozza. He's on a banker, so we'll come back to him. Shelby is not on a push, but Shaq is, and he's starting his push lap. We'll run aboard of Shaq as he starts to push up on the medium compounded tyre. He's run aboard of him now. Through down on this long run down towards turn 1. Heavy braking zone. Brakes around the 100-meter mark. We'll keep it going there. We got a bit of a loss of traction, a bit of a slide. Coming through turn 3 there now onto this straight in between turn 3 and 4. DRS flap doesn't go as wide as some drivers might go there. He'll keep it going now on this run towards turn 5 here. Bit of a wobble coming in out of turn 4 and 5 there. Now through the S's he's heading down now, this is towards turn 7 there. He's validated his lap time. Now we jump to J Cashmash, who's another driver who could be challenging for a provisional pole here on the medium compounded tyres. There's 5 minutes left, so if you're going to go for that soft run, now you might want to dive into the pits. What can J Cashmash do? He's now coming through this complex. Options 5, 6, and 7. It's a long corner. We're going down the hill now. Run aboard him into turn 8. Heavy braking. Gets the car around nicely. Now to show onto the awkward braking zone of turn 9 and 10. Gonna get the car around well. Doesn't go as wide as Quiet Cake does. As we keep going now down towards turn 11 now. It's a very, very few corners here. Only 15, but there's a lot of straights that break them up. As he comes around for this long turn 11. And it swings back it over to turn 12. As might catch a few drivers out how quickly that corner comes. Turn 14. The sector 2 of Shaq has the fastest time right now. It's fastest sector 2. He's in the pit, so it's running. But here comes battle. J Cashmash in the Red Bull. Can he challenge for provisional pole? No, he's into the box. Shelby's just going in for a bit of a refuel. They're thinking the soft one stop, but here he is. Here's the reserve. The only driver, I think, Mad Max on a lap is Mozza. Mozza is on a lap. He's coming up to the back of Daz there. He's somehow gone purple sector 1 according to the game, but he does not in telemetry. But what can he do? Very, very fishboning there. We'll have to jump to Daz soon, as he is a tier 4 driver racing here tonight. Reserving up. Big names he is racing against, and what is he capable of? We'll find out. We'll see Fruity Bendo there on laps. Bender is on a soft run, so we'll watch him now. Run aboard him through the S's complex, turn 5, 6, and 7. See what can he do now as he comes down towards turn 8 now. Heavy braking into turn 8. See what he can do. Can he get his foot down nicely? He does. Keeps it flat through that corner. Let's see what he can do coming into this tricky braking zone off turn 9 and 10. Keeps it a little bit wider. These drivers keeping it a bit wider than hugging the apex there. Gaining time already. And now what can old Footy Ben do is Bernie's going to have the McLaren behind him. No real traffic ahead of him. But what can he do? Shelby's coming to the pits. Unless he can get out instantly, that will be his qualifying done. Same with Cashmash and Shaq and Cake. But now Bender coming around this back straight now. He's only got 2 corners left to go. Turn 14 and 15. 15 just a little kink here, as you can see where it straightens out. Now towards the line, what can old Footy Bender do in his kick Sauber? Comes towards the line. Very good lap from him. P4 on the board, and we'll jump down to Daz, so I know he's on a lap. He's absolutely flying, but he's on none right now. But what can Daz do? He's yet to set a banker. This will be his only flying lap. Man, oh, it's Toddy. Just shows them all up and goes fastest with a 128.1. But now Daz towards the line, the tier 4 driver. What can he do? A bunch of jumping up. Curtis goes to P3 on the softs. And there he goes, P5. What a lap from Daz. Let's see, what's Shelby done? Shelby's coming out on the outlap. He's got a minute and a half to get around. He's got to move here. See if he gets around us. We'll catch up to some other drivers. Challenging for pole. Mad Mac, he's challenging for pole, but I don't think he'll be next across the line. Here, Polo Pepsi, they'll be right on board with the Pepsi can. Is the Twitch Sweat, as he's been called. What can he do? Championship leader right now in Labs Motorsport overall and Tier 1 and 2. Comes towards the line. And it's Polo River, visual pole, but 127.6. See what else we could find. Junkyard Doggy starting a lap. German Dictator. They're coming towards Gritter on an outlap. Who else is on a flyer right now? Daz, no. Toddy, no. There, Mad Mac coming round the final corner. What can he do? He's not out, and is he into the box? He is. Now, Footy Bender, is it validated? Will he get around in time? He's got 40 seconds. He will go again. No, he's into the box. Quite okay, if he wants to go again, will get around in time. But that Ferrari, he's got 30, actually no, he's got 30 seconds, so I lied. He'll get around in time if this is Shelby on that back straight. Yes, it is. So Shelby will get a lap time. Curtis not on a lap. Anyone on a lap? Here we go. So I believe we get Quiet Cake, Cash Mash, Shelby. Well, Gritter me first out of these lot to cross the line now. So we'll be riding on board with him. That's the end of your qualifying. If you're in the pits or not over the line, you are out and done and dusted. Toddy will take the checkered flag in P2. But he's still got Shelby coming up towards and high on his heels here. What can he do? It's anyone's guess. There's Gritter now coming down towards turn 11 here. As Curtis has taken to the box as well. Now what can Gritter do? He's looking to make an impact. Pepsi's retired. Pepsi's given up. He's not going to be looking for anyone challenging that. But now Gritter came very close to the end there. Who just jumped up? So Fruity just jump up, I believe. Or was it Battle Cat? What can Gritter do as he comes across the line now? Where can VX Gritter's RB go? Around Bahrain here tonight. And it's P5, but we'll jump now to Quiet Cake, who's next across the line. Followed by J Cashmash, who's really close behind. Cake goes P5. Cashmash goes P2. Now Shelby is next across the line. He's 8 tenths up at his time. This time could be good for P1. It's not. P just misses out. Shelby misses out by less than a tenth. 0.021. Shelby misses out on Apollo Pepsi's time. And what a qualifying session we just had. Absolutely on. We got Pepsi, Shelby, J Cashmash, Toddy, Shaq, Quiet Cake, Curtis, Gritter, Fruity, Battlecat, Daz, Junkyard, Mad Mac, Bender, German Dictator, and Mozza, who are only setting into push lap. So now we have a sprint. And these drivers, is Toddy looking for a softs all the way? Is Shelby looking to make some gains? Who knows what these drivers are thinking? Obviously, it's possible to do this on the softs as seen in the Tier 3 and 4s. During the day, though, is this sprint race, which could offset a few of the drivers here. But as we get ready to race here, very interesting to see how these drivers line up. Shelby looking for improvement. We can see what he can do. He's starting P2 on the grid. Polo Pepsi looking to continue his dominance here in Bahrain. and win here again and win the sprint race and try and repeat what Deadly Fool did in the kick saber earlier tonight. And of course, if we have a look over at Tier 3 and 4 standings right now for those while we wait for these drivers. Tier 3 and 4 standings provisional. Bazza will be 5 points off Wilbur as we head into round 11. That's provisional. Who knows what can happen with stewarding and other dropouts. But as of right now, it's a 5-point gap between the two in Tier 3 and 4. But Pepsi, he's checked out already in Tier 1 and 2. He's looking to make a very dominant season. To see what can happen here. As we wait for these drivers to get ready on their formation lap, we'll go over the starting grid once again. And I feel like one to watch here will be Mozza. He's going to be starting at the back, but he's quicker than that. I know he's quicker than German. Old footy bender, Mad Matt not Crowjack. Is it Crowjack? I actually can't tell. We'll have this here, so we'll be able to check it in about 2 seconds. No, it's Junkyard Doggy. Yes, my racing tools lying to me. As that loads, now we get ready for this formation lap. We have Apollo, Pepsi, and Shelby. Let's see, then we go from the front row, then with Jay Cashmash and Toddy. Toddy, probably not the qualifying he would have wanted, and then Shaq, White Cake, Curtis, Gritto, Fruity, Battlecat, Daz, Junkyard, Mad Mac, Old Footy Bender, German, and Mozza at the back of the pack. As we look at the starting tyres here, all on meds, Fruity on the hards, German on the softs. German knows he can do it. He did it in the Tier 3 and 4 as he started on the softs. But yes, you can pit. You're probably better off to pit here. But is that the gap that you want? Is that you think you can make up that 20 seconds of pit stop time? That's the question that I have to ask these drivers here. It's daytime for the race, so it's anyone's game. As long as the race is during the night time, I think we're going to have ourselves here quite a nice race and battle. But who knows what can happen tonight with these drivers. Of course, these possible race strategies. The softs aren't going to go long. That is probably correct. Softs will be pushing it. But if I had to predict someone right now to take the win here, I reckon Shelby's got a fair chance. But I feel like Toddy, yes, he's starting P4. They're all on even tyres. Strategy is out the window here. It's all, if they can make their tyres last, it's flat out to the end. But now the drivers will line up. We'll look from the back. Mozza's all the way around there, so they're not too far out. Obviously, pole position has the outside line for turn 1. Depends on what line you want to take. If you can get ahead in P2, do you move over? Do you get to the outside line? That's what we see, because in Tier 3 and 4, both drivers went side by side into turn 1. And I don't know what there's Mozza doing some donuts. So we wait for Mozza now to line up his car. He's doing some burnouts. And him and German slot into position. And now we get ready for 5 lights here in the Bahrain Sprint for Season 3. Tier 1 and 2 Bahrain Sprint. And we are underway here in Bahrain. Jump, oh, much better jump for Pepsi to come now scrambling down towards turn 1. Shelby's following in Pepsi's footsteps, a little bit of a tow. There's a bunch of drivers side by side into turn 1. Bit of collision with the RB of Gritto, but the other RB makes it out successfully. Now what does this driver had a bunch of position jostling, Daz down positions, Bender down positions, Gritto down a lot of positions, Gritto up a bunch of positions, and he's round. And he's also collected a few drivers there, Gritto. He's just had a bit of a moment there, and he's taking a few drivers there with him, and he's got front wing damage. Same, not with Bender or Mozza. But, actually, apparently Bender does have damage there. Is that damage I can see? And I'm not sure. But we'll jump back up to this front pack. who are absolutely racing away. Apollo, Pepsi, Shelby, Tobby, and Cashmash here, all within a second of each other. And then you even got Shaq looking to make moves around the outside of Cashmash there, coming into turn 12. Defensive once again into turn 13. Oh, what a little bit of argy-bargy there. Shelby's just got to take his time there with those moves. It's very rushed, but Shelby will get allowed through. And Tobby gets past, but he's not going to. Shelby stays ahead there. That one was legal, that one. He gave the position back though. So now what can these drivers do? Shelby. He's got to prove he's a bit cleaner than that though. Oh, a very close move. These drivers are racing hard and fast here. Side by side into turn 1. This is what we can see from behind Shelby's car. Tobby looking and losing out there. Tobby. The Mercedes now in his first debut race for the Mercedes team. They're going to go side by side into turn 4 here. And he's going to have their outside move. Same with Pepsi. Pepsi's there side by side next to Tobby. But now he gets past Shelby. And into P2. Now Tobby, he's into the lead of this race. Does he check out now? Is this where he puts his foot down and goes? But Pepsi and Shelby have more ERS. Bender picking up another penalty for his first one of the night. We run aboard with Shelby as this is his chasing, but he's also got that pack behind him. You see Jay Cashman getting a bit slippery on the exit. Is this where Shelby has a look? The inside, does he look to make a bit of a sketchier move that he did last lap? But what has he got in his Ferrari here? Is this something that he can challenge these front runners up the front? You got a bit hairy at the start there. But we can see what can happen here. Or as he cuts that corner. Oh, it's very big tank slapper from Apollo Pepsi there. And that's going to give Toddy a bit of a boost. But now, can Shelby close up the gap here that he's got to Toddy? That's the gap behind Toddy into turn 1. There's a few cars now in this fight. But now here comes Shelby. Does he have the look at the move here? Is he close enough? Is he gaining? And he's not gaining. He doesn't gain enough to keep going. Now what can he do? Can he chase enough to overtake the Mercedes driver? Gruder at the back of the group picking up a penalty. I feel like he's being a bit too aggressive as Shelby. He's got the speed, but does he have the smarts? That's what I want to know. Can he hold up to Toddy? Can he keep up his end of the deal? Shacking advantage of his speed and being able to get past carefully and without too much chaos. But he's chasing him down now. This should be a pretty routine pass. ERS levels in favour of Shelby here. As he goes to make the move into turn 1. Side by side. Late braking from Shelby. Keeps it ahead. Oh, they avoid contact. Great racing from them. It's 2 here. Pepsi's just hitting in the background. Now this is Shelby's chance. Pepsi's really far over and they keep it going. Gritter, another penalty for him. As they keep going. And they keep chasing. That's the gap behind each other. His top 3 are not out of this one yet. Now say, Shelby has a fair chance at this one. He's not out of this one. He is not at all. ERS in favour of Toddy. But I feel like this time round might be a bit over for the Mercedes driver here. But Pepsi's tyres, looking at my telemetry, is in much better shape than the 2 in front of him. Yes, he had that spin, a bit of a tank slapper. I don't think that's cost him too much tyre wear. Now the Senna Enduro winner versus their up and coming reserve versus the championship leader. What does this one got in store for us? That's the pit window opening for those on the soft. Now does he have a look into turn 1 once again? This time he's ahead. And this time he gets it done. The Ferrari reserve up into P1. Now he's going to have Toddy. Look, they go all a bit of side by side. And there goes Toddy into the lead of this race. Now he keep it in. He's not backing out. Pepsi getting a bit loose there, we saw in the background. And going very wide there was Pepsi. But what does Shelby have in mind here? I feel like he's just got to get a bit closer for that main straight. Same with Pepsi. But the ERS advantage is heavily in Pepsi's favour right now. There's not even a second guessing on the ERS here. It's heavily in Apollo Pepsi's favour. And now to come down towards the final 2 corners. Shelby, he has to catch up. His tyres are just a little bit more wear. But this is where he's got to make it. Oh, as he might get past for the charging Twitch streamer of Apollo Pepsi. And he makes that easy. Makes that very easy. Now Cash Mash looking to go side by side into turn 1. Shelby. He doesn't see him coming. A bit of a wheel banging there. And a little bit of touchy. But Shelby stays ahead. I think he caused any damage for the drivers behind him. So he's keeping with just a bit of argy-bargy. But he's got to take his time if he wants to go further. Of course, some drivers on 51% wear like Mazza. But some are only on 12 like Footy Bender. But I believe he has pitted. And is also a lap down to the rest of the field. So what can Shelby do? He's still, once again, still not out of this. This is a sprint race to the end. But he's going to have to carry this tyre wear with him throughout the remainder of this race. And I feel it's not over yet. Even for Jay Cashmatch, he's within about 2 seconds of this leading 2. So as I grab myself a bit of sugar to keep me yapping through this one. We have a look here. I feel like we might have a chance. Pepsi might have a chance to get a move on this straight. Both of them. And now down towards turn 1. Very late braking there from Shelby. So what can they do? He's closed up the gap. Yellow flag in sector 1 from, is it Grudo? No. It's just those 2 battling. But what can he do now? Shelby, Pepsi, what does they get? Jake Hashmash even. Who's going to win this one? Oh, a bit of a slide there from Cashmash. I'm seeing a chance. A chance of something for Cashmash. He's not out of this. Shelby's closest to his opponent. But he's not out of it. If I had to say a winner here, prediction wise, might be Toddy, but P2 is still up for grabs. There's about 3 or 4 drivers still gunning for it. So they don't. Oh, the controller's not disconnected. Stay ahead. He'll keep ahead, but he's 2 up ahead. Not out of the race. I'd say German dictator picking another penalty there. I feel like Pepsi's gonna have his work cut out for him to win this one. Toddy finding a lot more pace in that Mercedes here tonight. They're looking to make this sprint race. Mercedes dominance, but Pepsi's looking to make it a win, a pole into a win. But only he's got that rear flapper open, does Pepsi? He does. Penultimate lap now for these drivers. What can happen here? Very slidey there. Missed that J Cashman on past Shelby. But we're more focused on these front two. Up in front here. What can Shelby do? He's out of this, but he's still close to J Cashmash. The wins between these two. It's Toddy and Apollo Pepsi. Oh, very big tank slapper there. From Apollo Pepsi. He's on out of the last lap. Broken Reptiles joined. We're communicating here with online services. Oh, it's collision. So come together, Shelby and J Cashmash. That's behind these leading two. Doesn't involve these two. I think Toddy's that furthest point away to win this one. I feel like Toddy's gonna win this one here. Just a little bit too hard for Pepsi. Pepsi can't do it. But old Footy Bender can get another penalty. And wins it, does Toddy. With these two. And his goal finishing it off. He comes Mods towards the line now. Now these two. Oh, Gritto's just put him in the wall. And that's over there. And now we recap these two. Now we have Toddy winning the sprint, followed by Apollo, Pepsi, Curtis, Fruity, Shaq, Shelby. We'll get back to these two. These standings are to these two. But yeah, once again, Toddy winning the sprint. It's beautiful from him. But after we jump down, there's Fruity, and we have Shaq, Shelby, Matt, J Cashmash, Quiet Cake, Junkyard Doggy, Daz, Mad Mac, German Dictator, Battle Cat, Mozza, Gritto, and Footy Bender retiring. But that's the end now of the sprint. And now we head into feature race qualifying. I apologize. Now I am back. And we have Shelby currently in provisional pole. And Jim Dictator, Toddy also there, up there, I should say. And I guess, for the, unless what I just had to try and sort out doesn't get sorted out soon, I will have to postpone interviews. I'll be able to finish the qualifying, but if I can't sort this out in between, say, safety cars, we might be at a bit of luck here. But what can we do here? Shelby on provisional. I was just watching Junkyard there. Turn on telemetry and lap data and track map. I just got back from what I was doing. So let me set up properly. Now we're right on board with Shaq, who's doing. I think he's the only had to come in now. Pepsi just goes fastest though, is a 1:27.9. Beat Shelby there. Well done by him, Mozza. Will be next across the line of after Mac, who goes P5. Now what can Mozza do? Towards the line and goes P4. This is great stuff from him. This is very interesting. As Jay Cashmash is fastest though. Just seeing that on top of my screen. 1:27.6, and then German Dictator said, "You wish you could do this time in tier 3 with 1:28.9. Waiting now, see what we could find some drivers on laps. No one's on a lap. I think Jay Cash is the only one on a lap. He's 1.5 up on his time. Get my timings up again. Perhaps he's coming into the box now. So if you're gonna switch your set, you do it now. First driver that will be out on his, I think it's Battlecat. He's on a lap. He's started a lap here, so we're on board with Battlecat, as he's the only driver on a lap right now. And he's validated instantly. And he is out almost to qualifying, but now we've got Daz. He's next. Doesn't use the cat as a tow. So he'll keep going. But what does he do now? He comes now towards 10.8. Apparently he's got the purple middle sector. Timings don't approve of that. But he's got a 130 flat back marker. Or benchmark here. So what can Daz do? He's always doing, I would assume, a high fuel run. Now as he comes down to this complex odd corners. What can he do? 7/10 off. This lap time will put him right about P7 right now. If he doesn't improve any more on it. Comes towards the line, now does Daz. What can he do? Goes to P8. Because my headset is beeping at me right for some reason. I will check that really quickly. And if I'm correct, it means I'm gonna have to charge my headset soon, or my software will crash. one of the two, but it shouldn't be. I just need to check the battery life. It's just having it crapping itself, so we'll jump back here. While that does that, to make sure I don't need to leave the stream to charge my headset at all. But here we come though. What can he's on a fly now. It's Shelby looking for that pole position. My controller is connected in a wire game. Ride with him now. Be absolutely flying here, wanting to set a good benchmark. Everything to see what happens here. Comes towards turn 9 and 10 here. He's gonna have his Ferrari teammate ahead of him. Is he gonna get the toe from him though? Is this Daz playing the team game? No, he moves out in time. Now down through this section. Oh, corners turn 11. And now onto the long run towards turn 12. Flat 6 through here. Up 4/10 on his time. Good enough for provisional pole if no improvement comes from the other drivers. And then we'll see what Shelby can do. That's towards the line. It's provisional pole. Just. And that's a crazy, Kevin. That's a very detailed thing. And yes, my headset is on 8%, so hope it makes it to the end. I might charge it really quickly in between the two races, but we've got pole position fights everywhere. Pole Pepsi, they're making it towards the line here. What can he do? And he goes P2. But what can Cashmash do now? Can he go? Can he improve in that Red Bull? He's got his teammate ahead of him. Is this an intentional slipstream from the two teammates? Or is this just poor timing? Who knows? Toddy goes fastest. It upsets Shelby. Cashmash now towards the line, getting a toe from his teammate. Ooh, just misses out. And is that qualifying done? But old Gritto jumps up. I feel like that's qualifying done here. We'll quickly break down your finishing order. They're very quick jumping from these drivers. But Toddy takes pole position. Over J. Cashman, Shelby, Pepsi, Shaq, Gritto, Mozart, Curtis, Mad Mac, German Dictator, Crow, Junkyard Dog, Daz. Then we have the South of our Footy Bent. No, the other South of Fruity. Then Quiet Cake. Then we jump all the way down to Battlecat, and Bendo didn't set a time. I'm going to charge my headset until the end of the formation lap, so give me a little minute. But now as the drivers line up, as I'm here once again, we have 5 red lights as we get ready to speed run this. So we have 5 red lights here in Bahrain. We are underway here in Bahrain for the round 3 here. No, round 3, season 3, round 10. Pointers still stands. So we come into turn 1. Shelby ahead of J Cashmash. Shelby side by side with Cashmash. Gritto not turned around this time, but again goes Shelby through and up into P2. FC3 looking to make the jump on his on the. Oh, I can't even speak. Pepsi looking to make the jump move on Cashmash. Side by side coming into the S's. A bit of wheel banging. Pepsi stay by side and he fails out. Very tight pack so far, but now Shelby has a chance to chase. Has a Bender already a penalty. And I'm hoping that little speed charge for a couple 2 minutes hopefully helped a little bit and will help me get to the end of this race. But sadly, I'm hoping it doesn't die this race. Be another thing that I have to deal with come towards the end of this one. There's now Toddy. He's checking out a bit. J Cashmash as well. Pepsi. They're a bit behind. I feel like it's anyone's game. Dad's falling to the back. It's not because of damage, but who knows what else could be playing a factor. But now it comes around the final corner. Toddy to start his next lap. And the 1:33.0 is the starting lap time. So what does Toddy start off with? He's going to have DRS here as Shelby on Toddy. So what's the go here? As Shelby comes up towards, oh, he's braking, nothing there for those two. Behind them though, J Cashmash keeps his position on Pepsi. But is Shelby pushing too hard? I can't see any tyre wear right now for some reason. So who knows what's happening in this race. But it is anyone's game. And I feel like it's obviously it's only lap 2. This is already a very spread out grid. I've got a few packs starting to form. These top 2 are checking out compared to their competitors. So it truly is anyone's race. As of right now, safety cars obviously aren't out of the question. There hasn't been a safety car or an incident in a long time. And there's your provisional strategy. So Shelby pick up a penalty already. Not good for him. And look at that pack behind these two. Pushing is Shelby, pushing really hard here. But the rear wing is going to open here. So there goes Shelby with that fastest lap of the Grand Prix. No chases. He looks to make it go around the outside. What can he do though? Keeps it going. Now he's still got a chance. Toddy makes him go to the outside. Toddy protects his inside, keeps it side by side. He goes to make the turn over under here on Toddy, side by side into the S's, and there he goes. And a bit of lag back from Shelby. Toddy stays ahead. It's a very close battle between these two. I can see the tyre wear is very even. Shelby's even slightly better than Toddy. So who knows what this pack can do. They've already pulled 2.6 seconds to the cars behind. This is a fight right now for the lead of the race. Ferrari versus Mercedes. Silver versus red. Laptop versus car brand. Who knows what can happen here. As they come up down towards the second to last corner here. Let's see, does Shelby have the run? Is this his chance? He has more ERS, only slightly than Toddy. So what's the burn rate going to be? What's what these drivers are going to do He's got the slipstream. Is this the chance that Toby can't defend side by side into turn 1? And he'll get the move. And that is a move for the Scuderia Ferrari driver. Up into P1 on the board here. But now does Toddy. He gets the move back though. His dad's going for turn 1, but they do a bit of bumping there. A bit of bump drafting from Shelby. They keep it going here. Nice and steady. Lap 4 here. Shelby already on a penalty, which is not what he would want. Same with German Dictator. These drivers, even though they might not be up the field, but Shelby, it's going to cost him a lot more. Very cool at the slam on the brakes there. Did Shelby. To avoid getting his front wing taken off by Toby. We're around the outside. So he's not out of this one. And now, what can these drivers do? He's got now this defensive stance he can go through. He can use his ERS now, he's got slightly less. Now down the main straight they go. Both saving, both gaining. Here comes Shelby making, oh, he backs out of the move. But now he'll get another run. Coming up turn 3 here. Down the straight here. Not going to take the slipstream, he's just going to save. And reload for the next lap. Mozart picking up a penalty here. Mad Mac into the box already. Onto those hard compound tyres. And now the reserve versus the newly signed driver. Toddy newly signing to Mercedes for the remainder of season 3. But Shelby, he's a free agent. He's looking to impress the drivers with Tier 1 spots open, I should say. Like the team he is driving for in Ferrari as of right now. These two are bringing back the drivers in that are behind them. They're bringing them back in. And I feel like soon their times are going to go up. This is about lap 5 right now. You want to pit her in lap 9 if you're making it a 2-stop. If you're going lap about 15, hopefully if you want a comfortable one stop. From med to hard, or hard to med. We didn't actually look at the stone tyres, so we'll have a quick flick to them real quick. That's the wrong one. There you go. Someone driver starting on the hard. Pepsi's going to have a big advantage. Now, he's got the hards. He can go one stop here, but he goes some Shelby once again. Looking to make moves into turn 1. Not getting those moves into turn 1. And he keeps on chasing the driver of Toddy up front. Only so much he can do, Shelby, to keep up with Toddy. This very quickly will end up dancing away from him. Very quickly. We look behind these two, the two Red Bull type cars. And the Mino Battle TP versus an overall champion right now. Then you got his teammate Gritto behind. Already 7 seconds behind. But the other Red Bull, he's behind. 30 here and White Cake. So what do you want to probably jump back up now to these top two. Absolutely battling it out right now. But who knows what can happen here. I reckon God knows. He's really predicting this one. Toddy's going to get a 20-second penalty right here. Well, someone got a penalty. It was not Toddy. It was Alt Footy Band to pick up another penalty. He's up to 6 seconds of penalties here tonight. But now what can Shelby do? Is he close enough this time? ERS not in his favour once again. He's just going to use the DRS to catch up a bit of battery here. Now into turn 1. This is the gap we can see. We're going to jump up to Toddy, who this is what he sees behind him. A chasing Ferrari. The Junkyard and German switch places. And Old Fully Bender, another penalty for the man in Kicksale, but currently see P16. Hasn't completed, I think, the last 3 races, 2 or 3 races. Can he finally get some points on the board in a long time for his team? But he comes around, all very, very fast driving here from these two. They're absolutely lining up, but Shelby, they're losing time. Shelby, you're losing time to the guys behind you. You're keeping in track with the man in the front, but you're losing to the guys out back. So it's a double-edged sword here, but when do they pit these two medium runners? Tyres sitting about 51-48 respectively in favour of Toddy, having slightly less tyre wear. But I feel like Shelby can win this. Yes, he's got the 3-second pen. Yes, he's behind Toddy. Yes, it's still early in the race. But he's got the pace and he's staying with Toddy. Even though his tyres and his ERS aren't looking too healthy right now. We'll jump back behind these two. And you can see that white car approaching in the distance. And there goes Cashmash falling to the king of lads at the moment, Apollo Pepsi. He hasn't lost in a long, long time. I take that back, he lost the Center Enduro. But he's a quick man leading the championship overall and in Tier 1. So now he can set off after Shelby and Toddy. Shelby cuts that corner right there very, very heavily. So what can they do? What can these two drivers do? I mean, into turn 10 there. And on the exit, see what these two are capable of. I don't know what they're capable of, but we all hope for the best. Let's hope they're clean compared to the sprint race. A bit argy-bargy. Hope to see a bit more clean racing from Shelby here, but these two still duking it out for the lead of this Grand Prix. Now the 16 lads here, only 4 have penalties, and which only not 18 seconds of penalties been given out, and half of that's onto Footy Bender right now. But who knows what can happen here? When do the pit stops come though? When do we see drivers start making that little drive over up to the pits? As you can see there on the right hand of your screen, pit window would be open for the medium runners, because the game does not like them changing. Apologies, but changing strategies. I had the issue myself in Tier 3 and 4. Shaq and Curtis switch places there, and her Battlecat and Daz. Mossad and Curtis as well. They're still going. Once I reconnect my controller. That's what happens when you use an old PS4 controller. We'll jump down to these two. Shelby picking up another penalty. That's a very important thing. But we're looking back now. Shaq. Gritto's leading a pack right now. And it's Shaq, who's at the helm of a few drivers behind him. And I don't think Gritto's got that comfortable gap he would want right now. So this is looking hairy for the man in white. He's got a train forming behind him now. Cashmash picking up a penalty. So maybe this is just the track that penalties are for coming in the desert here of Bahrain. Now we'll see these two battling it out quite heavily. And we'll see what these two can do. YK even picking up a penalty himself. Penalties all across the board. Cashmash into the pits now. Who else follows? Cashmash. Then comes Curtis. Anyone else joining the party? And a Mercedes, a German dictator. He's in too. And so is Daz, I believe. Daz survives. So does Gritto. Gritto survives that there. Toddy now. Here's a penalty. We'll jump back up. See, this is no move there, but we'll jump back up. Pepsi. Look, the gaps now. Wasn't this close since the sprint race earlier tonight for these drivers here. We'll see what can happen here. And what can Pepsi do? They come around through turn 11 here. Chasing on, we're riding on board with Pepsi here, but there's not much else we can do other than sit and watch as the top battlers of the top paced lads here tonight are duking it out. And I think, Shelby, it's time for you to pull in, my friend. Under box, put the old Ferrari strategy. You got the gap to Daz. It's time. And hopefully Toddy goes in too. He does. So this is where Shelby should go in. Yes, he will. He's near very close, but he gets the brakes on. Pepsi, you know what he was doing on that side of the track. But he'll retain P1. Even though and his time's only on 41. He can extend, get to about lap 15, and comfortably make the one stop home. Because the car will be on lighter fuel, so it's anyone's game. Now, it's an unlikely story, but it's an RB12. Does this stay another 5 laps? No. Does Gritto keep it at the wall? Probably not. But now, this, you say, look, we did it. The RB and his very, very quick teammate in Apollo Pepsi, but also very close. Gritto gets very close to losing out to Shaq there. He's looking to make the move up in the currently provisional P2, as these drivers have yet to pit. See Toddy and Fruity battling it out there, but he's got Daz on his back. Shelby's coming up behind Battlecat, and that's not what Hap would have wanted. But now this is exactly what Shaq would have wanted. He's got Gritto exactly where he wants him. Fruity picks up a pin, and he's trying to defend from Toddy. You see, there's the pack behind him. And no battle, but we'll keep John further back. This is where your leaders are right now. Toddy, he's put some cars in between him and his rivals, so this is going to help him substantially. But now we jump back up to these guys. Up front. Oh, a little cheeky look there from Shaq. I don't think that's what him. This might be where he falls. ERS in favour. Well, this one, Toddy has gone onto the softs here, which has already gone 7% in a lap. But it's under strategy, but what can OSRL Shaq do? Is he close enough to get past VX Gritto? Is he? Is he? No, he's not, and he tucks back in. And this is a very boring race so far here tonight. Very quiet times here. But now, Shaq's the closest battle on track. 2 turns, Shelby's right behind Fruity, but this is for position nearly. This is a very intense battle between these drivers. Shelby gets Fruity. But what can... This is protecting the... He's right now protecting his teammate. He needs to pit. Shelby is behind it. Toddy gets Mozza. So this is where this gets scary for the drivers. Pepsi, he's going to come out behind Shaq. He's going to be behind Toddy. Maybe even behind Shelby here. In terms of gap. But Toddy, he's showing why the soft tyres were the way to go. And he gets past Shaq. And I would not be surprised if on this main straight gets past Gritto here too. And then he can chase after the leading driver of Apollo Pepsi. And he puts himself making sure Gritto can't pit there. He puts his car just there without clipping him. Gritto would have gone to heal later. But there's the fight right now into turn 1. Toddy is ahead into turn 1 and he'll get the move done. And a charging Mercedes with a Toddy behind the wheel. He's up in the P2. And that's not what I think he would have wanted. Dude, Pepsi, I think he wanted to catch a bit further up, held a bit further up here. Not be right where he didn't want him to be, which is right behind him. But now we settle into this mid part of the race where strategies are playing out. And while Fruity chases Sanchez, we'll have a quick just double check my headset's not about to kill itself. No, we have 20%. That charge will save us and get me to the end. Whether or not I fall asleep till the end, who knows? This, of course, if you are interested in being a commentator at Lads Motorsport, like myself here, reach out to be on me on Discord. Reach out to Bazza on Discord. If you're not, please feel free. Express your interest in the chat or let me know in a future stream. Now we're going racing here. No one's close. Moss is close to Gritto. But I wouldn't be surprised if both peel in. Toddy's in the fastest up. He pulled 2 seconds. There, Moss slides his way. Yeah, but here comes Shelby and Cashmash. Cashmash saving battery. So is Shelby. Into turn 1 they go. Side by side. And he keeps the position. And that is position, but he's not done yet. Shelby, no move there. Daz needs to pit though behind them, so these drivers, this top couple 3, 4 pitted, and this is their true positions. The rest about very slidey there from Shelby. These two had a very controversial fight earlier in the sprint, taking a bit of sidelining, bit of side banging. But it all ends well for these drivers. But now, what can happen? We got nearly about the halfway point in our race. And I don't know what I just dropped. I'm also looking for something I did drop. But who knows now? Shelby, is this a chance yet? The chance to make the move into the lead of these two drivers that are battling. This is not race lead, this is lead. Do you want to unplug my controller? But Daz has come into the pits, but they will really quickly do it. There's no jump off side. Oh, there's the off-board camera. So I just dropped my controller, but these two still going at it and no move made. Jeez, I'm ridiculously clumsy tonight though. Gee, maybe it's these longer hours or something, I have no clue. I feel like it's all coming down now to these roles. I've still got about half the race to go. What can Cashmash do to defend? Is he going to be defending the whole rest of this race? Is it going to be a one-stop for these drivers? We know it's possible. It's done by Deadly. And he won the race with it. The one-stop won Deadly full of the race. But who knows what can happen now. And now we get to see this fight still unfolding as I'm watching other fights. As and those two up ahead, still battling now. We've got the Williams and Curtis now. Curtis and Junkyard battling it out, duking it out here. But who knows the outcome of this one? So it's very close battling all around between these two. We'll jump on to Shelby and Cashman says this is for position. This is for podium position. Shelby's just got to take his time here. He's not rushed at all. So grating a rubber band in my hands right now. But so that's the point. These two, as you look behind, nowhere in sight. Gritto picking up a penalty in his fight with not old footy vendor, German Dictator and Man Mac and Shaq and Mozza. Now John wants to get back to this battle here. So it's anyone's game. I still said, Pepsi's doing the non-stop. He's pretty much committed to it now. 13, 14 laps left. It's Junkyard can win this. Safety cars can happen. Pit stops can happen. If you're on the two-stop, your pit window is in about 4 laps. Because Pepsi's checked out. He has to pit obviously at one point. But he's commanding, and that pit stop would have to come. If my controller would stay connected to the game. Be very close, if not to the race win. Yeah, Toddy, though, he is chasing. He's using what he's got in those softs. The softs are nearly higher than his hards. So doesn't it count? No one. The strategies no one's done. I can't even predict a win here. So who knows what will happen here tonight? Still anyone's game, anyone's race, and of course we'll really quickly go through our sponsor while we have a little bit of a quiet period here. Oh, the race director, if you ever wanted to make your own league, make your own F1 league, make your own esports league, they are the Discord tool to help. By Dave here. Dave's devs made this absolutely magnificent Discord bot. Helps you manage all things down to your check-ins to your stewarding. Try it now with the link in our bio. Should take you directly to the Twitch bio. Should take you directly to their Discord server. If not, once again, please let me know and I will fix that up as soon as possible. So now, Shelby. This is the chest he has now. He's got 18 laps completed out of 29. And they'll have to pit again. Most likely. Same, top two will both have to pit still. Shelby made the move. Dive bomb. Goes slightly there. We look behind Shelby and he gets the move. Very easily done. Well done by Shelby. And he's up into P3, sorry. As I kick off my controller. Just Cash Mash. Oh, tank slapper. Bit of a slide there from Cash Mash. Skycake drops down the order. Down to P15. And now Junkyard. These two battling, so there's a massive pack behind them, which I feel like they want to stay out of. Because if they do get back into that pack, it could slow them down significantly. So it's now all about staying ahead is Junkyard. Curtis just needs to stay ahead of Junkyard. So who knows what's happened with these two? These two have been battling nearly longer than Shelby and Jay Cashmash have been battling. Nearly the whole race these two have been going at it. There's their gap though, they got a nice buffer behind them of 4 seconds. Keeping them chained up, and we'll have a look back for German Dictator Div 3 Reserve. From Div 3, but here they come. In at the same time. Pepsi and Toddy. This could be race defining. This truly could. But you see G Cashmash into the lead of the race, provisional lead. He's going side by side with Shelby. Shelby. Oh no, more contact between these two. Honestly, if I was my stewarding opinion, I think that's almost a little bit wrong by a strong time with Jay Cashmash. But Shelby's not doing himself any favours here with the stewards here tonight. Ordering some hot water with Cashmash, and maybe in a bit more during the feature here. Pepsi's got that 3-second buffer, and he's got the gap. But we have to, very few jumping orders there. But we have to watch this battle. It's for the lead. But I feel like he's in some hot water after that one is Shelby. He's a bit in trouble here. I don't know if we have any of those stewards watching here tonight. But it'll be very interesting to see what they've opinion on these two battling it out. Who knows if they know each other outside of racing? Who knows what the scenarios could be? Does it feel like... What happened to Cashmash? I can't see him on my thing. just not showing up for some reason. I got about 10 laps to go here. Now it's time, if you're watching in the chat, who wins this race? Obviously I can't interview the winner because I have other commitments to attend to tonight before I get back to my daily life of school and whatnot. But for those watching, actually watching in chat, and not just listening to these me yap while they race, who do you have for the win here tonight? Is it Shelby? Is it Cash Mash? Is it Pepsi or Toddy? I feel like Gritto, unless there's a safety guy, he's out of this chance. We look behind Gritto, Mozza making the move on OSRL Shaq. And he's into P6 there. But I think everyone wants to see the fight for provisional P1. And I feel this is what we all came to see here. Was these two battle. At least we've been very, very argy-bargy here tonight. A lot of contact, not just a bit, a lot. But here's the thing, Cash Mash is in perfect territory to one-stop this. And just defend Pepsi. But if he does that, that's going to give Shelby a benefit of the doubt. So that's what this... Shelby doesn't have to act. He can act off of Cash Mash here. Cash Mash not out of this one. Neither is Shelby, Pepsi, or Toddy. German dictator picks up penalty with Pepsi. He's kept it ridiculously clean. And he's sitting behind these two that are fighting and catching. And, I was just like, gaining on these two. So this is interesting. Pepsi picked up the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. As he chases down Cash Mash. These two are going to be battling on about 3 laps time at this rate. The second lap they're catching. This is very close racing here. Now they come through turn 4 now. ERS heavily in Cash Mash's favour. In terms of 22 to 67 in favour of Cash Mash in terms of how much ERS they have. Shaq picking up a penalty there. So now, if Shelby wants any chance to win this, he needs to pull away from Cash Mash and keep it clean. Any more penalties, and I'd say kiss that good ring goodbye if he picks up another one. Obviously, he can still win this. It's never out of the question. Time, penalties, collisions, safety cars, nothing can be predicted in F1, let alone in Lads Motorsport. But if I had to give my prediction for the winner, I feel that Pepsi's got this one in the bag. His strategy is immensely pulled off. And he's pulled it off magically. But the thing is, behind him, you got Toddy on hards. Does Toddy use the hards to push? And I lied about that catch-up. He's 5 seconds back. Pepsi's in striking distance. And not just striking distance, he's in DRS of Cash Mash. You know, these two moving very much on the braking. Oh, and they turn each other around. And Shelby's not making a good case for himself. He's not at all. Another collision with Cash Mash. Who I didn't see who caused that one. There's a lot of moving. A lot of moving there. And if that one goes to the stewards, I feel like once again, Shelby is going to get done up for that one. Yeah, Cash Mash, he's got to worry about Apollo Pepsi. A bit more than he has to worry about the argy-barginess of Shelby. So we'll drop back to these two, the two Red Bulls. The RB and the Red Bull. And this is where he gets past. And that is a big moment in this race. But this is where we see, I have to say, Shelby's potential here. He's now got Apollo Pepsi behind him. The Twitch Sweat, the Pepsi can. And he's not out of this one yet. Shelby, as I said, I've said it all race. No one's not got this race. Toddy's only 4 seconds behind. But I feel like out of luck here. It's moving a lot. This is where it gets dangerous. The excessive moving but he's not going to fight it as hard. And Pepsi into the lead of this race once again. And let's see what can happen here throughout the remainder of this race. This fight though behind, it's going to have some heads turning. Cash is not having the best of time with his best friend in Shelby. We've got about 7 laps to go here of racing. Bender picking up another penalty. He's up to 21 seconds. Very close to DQ qualifying himself. But I think Chashmash can catch up. He's going to want to catch up, obviously. But he's going to have Toddy behind him. And Toddy, he's quick. We know from the center enduro, he won about 24 seconds or something ridiculous. He won that by a landslide. He pulled a Max Verstappen, for Christ's sake, in a Mercedes. So what can happen here? So now, we look here. What can Pepsi do? He's in a depart. We'll look behind. Gruder now has got Shaq and Mozzle once again to fight, to battle against. Mozzle's on the very right hand side, and he comes across here. This race is nearly done for these drivers, and these would be feeling it because Bahrain's a very long track. It's nearly, so the elevation wise, it's obviously we're climbing the mountain here this season, but it's elevation changes for see here because they're coming down the hill right now. So I almost thought Bahrain would have had more elevation change nearly than Spa, but elevation I guess you go up and down. Spa here you go on a bit roller coastery, but there's still tracks that didn't know had elevation. Go. I apologise for my yawning, people watching at home. This is racing. This is what this is Lads Motorsport. This is what we stand for. You can hear the engines of the cars going here as they're driving quite a big penalty. Everyone but Pepsi in the top 8 with a penalty. We'll jump up Toddy though. He's going up to Cash Mash with 5 laps of go. And I feel like Toddy cannot count himself out yet. Has he got the pace in those hards to win this one? Drop your predictions in the chat of the stream here. Oh, very big tank slapper. Shaq and its fast Gritto behind these two. Mozza penalty as well. Yellow flag, but who of? Slow moving German dictator. Unlucky, I think, for him. I don't know. I honestly can't predict this. But Toddy has to get past Shelby in the next 2 to 3 laps minimum. Maximum, I should say. If he wants to catch Pepsi and overtake him and gap him enough to feed his 3 seconds, but now 6 seconds of penalties. He is pushing his Toddy, but those penalties could be his downfall. He's striking now. He could get past him now. But that's the thing. Shelby's almost dangerous to battle against here. And this is, we're talking round 2 Gritto dangerous. Round 1 Gritto dangerous to fight right now. Those who raced in round 1 at tier 1 and 2 and those first few rounds will know exactly what I'm talking about. The collisions Shelby's had. As much as I want to help him, because he's potentially looking to see at my team, he's not clean, not the clean. Oh, he's spun Toddy. And that's Toddy's race over. And I feel like Shelby will be in very, very hot water now. He's a spun Shelby. I don't know if that Shelby's a spun Toddy. That's going to give Pepsi the win. Pepsi's won this race. Unless he blows up. But now J Cashmash can get P2. He gives the place back. But has the damage been done by Shelby? I feel like it might have. We'll jump back. Shaq's still chasing Gritto. Is this for position due to penalties? No, it's no. Yes, it is. This is position here, amigos, watching at home. Shaq versus Gritto. This battle's been going on longer than I've had a girlfriend before. That's not even long enough for a lap around Bahrain, let alone the full 27 we've had. But this is very close battling between these two. The top pack, that's the game race over for them. Toddy might get the lot. He might get P2, but Cashmash will finish on the podium. That podium probably won't change. The order of P2 and 3 might in the end. But this battle has been going a very long time. And this is just insane how long this battle's been on. This has been going on for nearly the whole race now. But we drive up Toddy. He's on the back of Cashmash. He looks to the inside was left open. We're on the third to last lap here. As Gritto gets past Shaq, they're still side by side. Shaq, Gritto, and Shaq's there still. This is full position. This is a very close battle. Gritto's picking up the pace. He's got to get a wriggle on. Mozza is still there waiting for a mistake. A collision between these two would be nearly deadly for both of their races. He looks to me the inside on turn 10. Come on, Gritto doesn't see him coming. A bit of argy-bargy. Gritto's broken his front wing by turning in a bit too early there. But he's going to go and head back up and gets his position back. As Pepsi is starting his penultimate lap of the race. But that's going to hinder Gritto a lot here. Toddy's still chasing Shelby, Cashmash. Does he stay ahead? Looking at that gap, and Toddy gets ahead. But this battle is getting very spicy. I will not be passing him here, Shaq. I'd be waiting for the main straight, and they do. All three tuck in behind each other, basically pushing each other through the final two corners. And this is a battle for P5 position. This isn't a battle for the win. This is a bloody midfield pack. But he's going to survive, but now Toddy. Can he get the gap? He's on Cashmash in about a lap and a half to go. What is the gap required here? 3-second gap between the two. We'll finish this and seal this podium position for him. But if Cashmash can keep within that 3-second gap, he'll obtain P2. And so with his teammate now down to P13, both drivers looking for maximum points here for their teams here. Both drivers having a teammate down P13 or lower. But this is where it comes in. This gap. Pepsi, he's getting ready to start his final lap here. A dominant run-stop strategy here for Pepsi. He's shown the critics all wrong, and he's bouncing back once again, and he starts his final lap. But now we got Shaq. They're chasing Gritto. No, Gritto. It's probably not better races. But now this is where the gap's only 1 second required. Cashmash out of ERS. The final lap is upon us here in Bahrain here tonight. That's the gap in front. That's the gap Toddy has. Is this going to be a race winning? For Pepsi, yes it will be, I should say. Not will it. When will it happen? When does this man get given the championship at this point? This is his second shot. This is his chance to win this over Gritto. This is for P5 on the grid. Where does he go? Where does he go? Daz, 3-second penalty. It's not going to hurt him too much, apart from losing out to Curtis. But these three battling it. We'll jump to Pepsi. He's coming through turn 11. These lads are coming through the chicane to turn 8. Is it too late for Shaq? Is it too late? Yellow flag set to 2. That's Mozza. Mozza's out. Pepsi. 3-second penalty. Toddy's got the gap. But Pepsi, after a dominant strategy, after a very unlucky result in Imola, he'll come bounce back. When does he get given the championship at this point? Pepsi wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. Followed by the Mercedes driver, Toddy. And then Jay Cashmash. After a bit of controversy with the man finishing in P4, Shelby crossed the line. But now this fact, not done yet. Mozza fell off this pack. And he's now like the victim of Fruity and Junkyard. But now, what does Gritto do? And he's going to keep the position. Gritto, with a very great drive from him. P5. And 6 for Shaq. Mozza, won't keep that position, but he gets P7. Penalties, Fruity, another penalty though. But he'll stay behind Mozza. Curtis then jumps Fruity as well, and Dan Daz. P10 for the Ferrari reserve from Tier 4. Mac across the line here. P11 due to Fruity's penalties. Then Battle Cat. German Dictator. Down the back. Quiet Cake and Old Footy Bender. Quiet Cake will come across the line. Penalties won't affect him. And he'll finish the race in P15 for his McLaren team. And then Bender, P16. And that's the end here to round 10 here. Tier 1 and 2. Paulo Pesci back to the top step of the podium. And the winner of round 10's Bahrain Grand Prix here for Tier 1 and 2. Followed by Toddy and J Cashmash. Also this race, again, brought to you by our partner of Dave's Devs and Race Director. And now the podium celebrations begin here. Pepsi, after P2 and Imola, bounces back. Drive of the day. Is that Daz or Shelby? I can't see off my thing here. I was communicating with all the subs, but that's Daz. Well deserved. Most overtakes being Mozza. Clean striver being the Battle Cat. And what a race that one was. And Pepsi takes it, and the results of the weekend, obviously, they'll win the race. And that is some great result for the Visa Cash App RB team. And thank you once again all for watching though. It's been a pleasure, you comes, and we'll see you this same time next week for Baku for round 11. Thank you all for watching, and have a great rest of your nights.